Welcome bike lovers, this is Jameson down at the Varsity Bike Shop, here to show you how to do a flat fix on a Stromer Elite ST1. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove some of the Stromer's protective gear, this neoprene elastic strap. We're going to go ahead and cut these zip ties. Then we're going to go ahead and start disconnecting your 3 electrical pieces. You have your power wire, a controller wire, and a battery sensor wire. Alright, I'm going to take our trusty 19mm wrench to remove our axle bolts here. The Stromer does have an oversized axle, so your axle bolts will be a little larger than normal. And it does help to take them all the way off. Once you have the axle bolts and the washers on, the wheel shall just drop right out of the frame. Now as we start our flat fix, there's these floating washers. You might want to remove those first just so that you don't lose them. Take our trusty quick stick underneath the edge of the tire, and then we'll remove all the way around. 1 bead at a time. And if you haven't already, putting in a heavy-duty thorn-proof tube, something like this, is definitely highly recommended on electric bikes. Helps prevent from flats. Alright, now once you have your new tube, slightly inflate it. Install it inside of the tire first, like yay, and then install the tire and the tube onto the rim at once. And while installing, try to get 1 bead installed first, then do your secondary bead. And check on both sides to make sure that it is properly seated, that it is not raised or lowered in any area. Check it again just to make sure once it's seated. Reinstall your floating washers. And now you can reinstall the tire on said bike. Alright, our wheel is slotted, so sometimes it is helpful to grab a 10mm, which will help you rotate the orientation of the axle that you need it to be in. Now that the wheel is in the frame, take your washers and your axle nut, install those on both sides. Make sure that the wheel is fully seated into the dropout. Grab your 16 and go ahead and tighten your axle nuts. After that, make sure to spin your wheel, make sure your disc doesn't rub. Then you can reinstall your electrical. Alright, on our power cable, do line up the notches appropriately. And when you put this together, make sure that you give it a nice snug push. These are male and female Pacific, so it's pretty easy to see which way that these ones line up. And these also do have a notch as well. And this last one back here is for diagnostic from the Stromer company itself. Now once you have that all put back together, I usually do zip tie this stuff back tight so it stays away from the wheel, and when doing so, make sure it stays away from the disc as well. After that, you can put your neoprene protective strap back on, which helps keep all the wires protected from the elements, and we're all done. That's how you do a flat fix on a Stromer Elite ST1. This is also similar to any rear hubbed electric motor flat fix. Similar to A to B's, Curry's, and Bionics, which are all bikes that we stock here at Varsity Bike Shop. Woohoo!